Oh, you don't want to take the wrong.
You're looking at me like that.
Because I know. You better not offer too often, because if you do, you're in deep trouble.
You guys gotta start talking about, since we haven't even advertised for town on aging director yet, you guys gotta start talking about the volunteer
Wait.
luncheon.
Why haven't we advertised yet?
Oh, yeah.
Personnel
Funny
policy
you should ask.
thought it had to be tweaked, the job description.
We tweaked it, sent it, I went to the selectmen, they looked at it, sounded like,
Yeah, they,
good, that's it, now we'll be advertised, no, then I had to go to personnel committee. I don't know what's going on with that.
So it has to be changed still? They have to change it? Oh, we don't know.
apparently they were gonna change it, I don't know what the status
I know.
They changed it slightly, now it has to be only a male applicant from an Eastern European country and
We speak six
fluent in
languages.
four
But only if
languages.
he applies on the third Tuesday between the hours of 12
That's the only
and
time the
3.
person can reign. Do you, Peggy, did you put up the agendas, or is that, no?
No, that's not an agenda.
Okay,
Do you
so
need
that's,
copies?
nope,
I can make.
nope. Some little
Is this an
squirrel in my
agenda?
house put some out.
I don't know if I
This
missed
an
it.
agenda?
Yeah, it's down below. It's disguised as an email, but it's actually the agenda because
Oh, wait.
That's, it was 2
Yeah.
pages.
Yeah.
I
he
did
sent
not go
us.
in here.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I did see this.
Do you need one?
Yeah,
One more.
2 pages.
Is this the two-pager?
It's a, well, she's
Two
gonna do
pages.
one. It's in the agenda. I did see this.
Yeah, I remember things. There have been so many lately for us.
You should have saved the page and printed on the back.
our printer doesn't print two sides for some reason.
Neither does mine, but I put it in again.
It's too much work.
Page 1 and page 2.
Oh, it is, mine's in
I really don't save my
like
tape
the
because
meals
I
and
do it wrong.
everything.
Can you double-sided
And
pen?
the report, that's,
Oh, yeah, that's so bad. Yeah, did all your stuff double-sided.
This mail thing is kind of nice.
Their scanner, it didn't scan double-sided.
Tells them what they get.
yeah, I get it every month, I just.
Mine
maybe I'd be
needs
interested.
surgery at home, so.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if it goes in the
Well,
house.
you're lucky you can
So
use
much
it, I
for
guess.
saving it.
Yeah.
Need to meet with her because she wants to.
And you put out the monthly report already?
They all have it.
They all have it, okay.
Poor she did, I mean, I saw her yesterday. Usually I go up 2 times a week.
So what is the hour?
And she's almost okay.
Hour is
Yeah.
right here,
This is always,
4:01.
she's not.
We call the meeting to order? May I, can we agree to call the meeting to order?
We can as far
Okay.
as that's
Yes,
concerned.
yes.
Why am I sitting here?
You wouldn't sit here.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's all right. Because I didn't want the camera on me. You said
Can you turn the camera on?
no, I don't need the camera on me. That's Kate's seat, by the way. That's
Oh, we're all, now we have a side
And
seat.
that's Sarah's seat.
Yeah, you're
See the
right.
place,
You're in my
place
seat.
cards?
Like,
Hey, Lori.
I don't see any place there. Oh, she's gonna sit over there. Oh, she's in the front. Oh, man.
So, one thing, now that we're orderly, I think you all have this code of conduct and ethics for boards, committees, and commissions. You're supposed to read all the words, then sign the form, and then either yourself turn it in or hand it to me, and I'll turn it in tomorrow to Mary,
What are you saying
Town
about?
Hall, and you sign on the back
Is it one of
of the
these?
second page. It's one of the things that, did you have one?
She needs an agenda though.
Is it just the one page?
Agenda, you wanna know what's going on, for heaven's sake. Okay, that's in the,
I'm trying to get my pen to write and I didn't realize what it was I was scribbling.
so does everybody have one?
Oh, yeah, we got the email, right?
Okay, so on the back of the second page is the place to sign. And if you've read it by the end of the meeting and want to pass it to me, great. If not, I will personally come to your house, whatever time of night you wish,
She
and I'll
wasn't
pick it
looking
up.
for that Peggy. She was
Not so,
No.
all right.
And how those young people are.
25, right?
On second thought, Kate, want to switch seats?
Okay, so attendance-wise, we had, if he had a pen, he could write. He had a brain and a pen, he could write accurately. Pat's here, Fran's here, Peggy's over there, even though she's not an official member. Laurie's here, Alan's here, Kate's here. I'm here, I think. Item 1, any objections, corrections, deletions? Good. Have you read the January 2020 meeting minutes? Or do you want to?
I read them.
You do, okay. Have you got it there?
Maybe. Want me to read it out loud?
I can make copies if you want me to.
Oh, okay.
I have a copy of it here.
January 29th. Peggy discussed the details of the monthly report for January 2020 with a list of the updated financials for her. We voted unanimously to pay gasoline bills for the bus out of the Elder Affairs account. COA updated and voted to approve changes to the COA director description. Bob agreed to attend the select board meeting on Monday, February 3rd regarding the description. Personnel committee will also be in attendance but unable to vote until their meeting on Wednesday, February 5th. Once everyone has voted to approve, the position will be advertised. Emergency preparation kits. We're still trying to identify individuals who would benefit from these packages. Margaret will follow up with the Veterans Affairs regarding the need for kits for veterans. Karen mentioned reaching out to Massachusetts Elder Affairs to determine who is eligible for these kits. Emily Donahue put the kits together. No new pen pals. The 1870 Town Hall Manager status. 3 resumes were received to date. The selection process is in mid-February. The topic will be discussed at the next coffee talk with the selectmen on February 13th. Bob volunteered to attend the interviews on COA's behalf. Human Transportation and Maintenance Survey in Peggy's monthly report. Margaret has been in talk with Dennis Lipka of WRTA. $60,000 has been appropriated in the state budget that was earmarked by Elder Affairs. Will not be enough to fund a full-size van. The invitation for bids is out. Dennis offered to help with budgeting. They will be discussing van procurements at the WRTA committee meeting in February and get back to us. Question is about services for seniors. Bob has received 11 responses so far. He'll continue his follow-up efforts and has created a spreadsheet to organize the incoming data. Subcommittee discussion. Everyone is in favor of this and agreed to start gathering content. However, it was noted that this should largely be the responsibility of the new COA director. I just realized that these are Kate's notes. She should have read them. Peggy is still receiving calls regarding smoke alarm detector replacement. Powerhouse News. We need to put together issues within the next 2 weeks to ensure it's printed and delivered by March 1st. COA members are brainstorming for new content. Lori volunteered to pull the completed contest together to send to the publisher.
Which you did.
Yay!
A lot of help, a lot of good content.
Peggy passed on a request regarding a ride to Leominster on Friday for a medical appointment. Given the fact that this appointment is at a time outside the existing procedures, and this individual does have some flexibility to move the appointment, all COA members were in agreement that the individual should reschedule the appointment within the existing van hours. COA members reviewed, signed, and approved bills. Meeting adjourned at 5:12.
Any additions, corrections? Me?
Superior.
Here, a motion to accept the minutes as read.
Accept.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you, Kate.
Can somebody email a copy of that to me so I can have it for the file inside?
You want me to do it?
Eloise?
Yes.
I think it was Eloise said that we don't have a file of meeting minutes. And Fran said she's not sure how you actually,
I've tried a number of times to access
I've gone through the
Information.
files in there and I've pulled out as many as I can find. There are some years that I can't find any at all. And there's other years that they're just like chicken scratch and you can't really understand them. But, I'm trying to keep it going if I get the copies, you know?
So do we have a
We
copy?
have the last couple of years.
I don't, that was just an email that I had sent
Remember,
to her,
Fran?
because I wasn't sure if there was a special
you gave me
format
as
that
many as you
things
could.
went into.
Yeah, I started in 2014,
And I
and I
guess
think Peggy went, I have.
So how do we move from your format to what Peggy needs? Kate?
my format?
Yeah, the
I had
email.
just emailed her. Oh, I could probably just cut and paste it into a Word document.
Well, Fran made it into
PDF
30
it.
minutes, that's all she has to do.
Just make a copy of
Whatever
what
you
you have
voted
there.
on is what I need for the
Yeah.
file.
I'll send it to her.
Oh.
Yeah,
so
she
there's not
just
even
printed
a-
my
okay.
email, so I'll PDF it to you.
You're gonna get so many copies, you'll be sorry you asked.
And how many past meeting minutes are there gaps of how many? Any idea?
In the last couple of years, it's pretty thorough.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But there's like
Before that.
a few years, like, I can't remember but I can look.
So we used to
I'll
not
check
meet
on
in the
it.
summer, so there would be a number of years where there's no summer minutes.
Right, right.
Okay, remember, 'cause
I
we
have
used-
like a couple of years where there are no minutes that I
Exactly.
can find.
Well,
It was
yeah.
June, July, August we didn't meet, right?
I've looked under
We
other
used to meet in
committees for
June
their
because
minutes
we've
and-
always had our appreciation meal in
Okay,
June.
so it was July,
July and August, we haven't always met. And I think I had some,
Oh, look at, you must have.
but I think I've destroyed because I had way back since Jesus was a baby.
I might still have them in my email, because they used to get emails, so I can look
Because I
back
mean,
at who used to
you know,
email them before Fran.
don't laugh. I've been here longer, almost as long as the,
Yes, you're normal.
I'm an old one. And like I said, it's just, we used to, when I started out, Mary Pekauskas was with us. And she's been gone quite a few years. She lived at Northbrook Village.
Oh, yeah.
We used to call it
Watch
Rinkley
yourself.
Village.
Some people in town still call it that.
All right, so, but I mean, she was a one-woman show and she kept a lot of it to herself. And from then it's just, and some of our past leaders haven't always done what they, I guess there was no format, let's put it that way. But it depends on, I mean,
So nobody wiped their feet?
evidently
So there's
not.
no
This is the
format?
same with the Powder House News.
Uh-huh.
In Florida, where I go, we have one of those go out every month like we do here, and we save them back to the good Lord. Because so that the new people coming in can go through them at their leisure and see what they have done before,
Right,
you know.
good idea.
Well, it just gives everybody, I think, the new people, if they are on, they just keeps them up to date a little bit.
So I wonder what the goal is in terms of the meeting minutes, if they're anxious to have them back forever, or just back 5 years or 2 years?
Well, I don't know, Fran,
They've got him back for 5 years,
you've got them back for 5 years?
no, since 14.
From 2004 to 2016, I couldn't locate.
I haven't seen the last
I don't know who the secretary was back then.
Huh?
Do you know who the secretary was?
Oh, geez,
2004?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And I think I burned a lot of my stuff because I started out as the treasurer.
I think it was when that man, well, part of it, was that man was on Pleasant Common.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jim?
I don't have any minutes from when he was the chairman.
well, yeah.
I don't know who else was in the board in that period.
So I guess I'll find out from Eloise if there's some gap that must somehow be filled, but otherwise, if we go back 5 years,
You,
I don't have heartburn about that myself, but I don't know if there's some legal requirement, who knows?
I don't think so, I don't,
Legally, there is, you're supposed to
Have
have,
a-
if anybody requests a copy of your minutes, you're supposed to be able to produce them.
just the minutes.
Yes.
But we're the younger generation, so we don't know what they did back then.
No, we don't. We really, and we don't, maybe don't want to know.
Okay, so that's something to look into.
Fran, who took the minutes before you? You don't know. Do you remember, Lori?
No idea.
And you don't remember either?
No, I just
Sounds like nobody.
It could be.
I think the director did.
George
Who was before George?
or Joyce?
Who was before George?
Maybe Joyce.
Well, Joyce
Okay,
Lamont.
Joyce. Joyce used to take the
Joyce was
minutes.
here, but
Can't
she
even remember her last name.
No, she wasn't. It was another
I think it
man.
was Connor, Mr. Jim Connor.
Yes, it
Jim
was.
Connor.
That's who it was. Jim Connor. That's when I joined.
Yeah,
Jim.
Okay, now he's gone out of town,
Yeah.
so,
But when Jim was there doing it, you're right, it was Joyce was taking the minutes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joyce.
So Connor's a goner, and who else are we having to worry about?
What's Joyce's last name? I have to look back and see if I have.
Lamont.
Right. Joyce Lamont, she's also gone out of town.
Oh, and it was Dora Cummings before.
Well,
And I know at one point, way back, you had, Mrs. Brewer.
Oh, really? Edie?
No, Fred's mother, because she retired,
It is weird.
and she came to visit me, and she asked me to join up here. That's how long I've been on.
When I started working up at the town hall, it was Mary Koskis was in charge of it.
Yes, she was a judge, and she was, like I said, she was a nurse practitioner, she worked at the hospital, and she did a lot, especially getting us on board with certain departments that she thought would be a feather in our cap to be in. She was really
She knew a lot of people statewide.
yes, she did,
Yeah.
yes, she did. So it's,
okay, so the minutes of this meeting are approved, and we'll see how many we can come up with for previous meetings.
Okay, so we need somebody that can put our meetings monthly on the town site. Right, Peggy?
Website?
I don't know how to put it on the town webpage.
No, but we need that to be done,
That's what
don't
she
we?
wants. I don't have access to that, my government. I don't particularly want access either.
Me neither.
that's.
I remember when I
Sometimes the more you
first
learn,
signed
the
up,
you become so that
I was
it's
showed
dangerous.
how, and,
I decided that
And I
after you guys
couldn't
get
get
a
it
new
to work.
director,
Me
you're
neither.
running
and
around
I think
here.
I tried a handful of times and
Me too.
abandoned it, and now I have no idea what the log is.
Okay, so treasurer's report, I guess we can read what is on the top of Margaret's monthly report. Donations 52, 56, 20, Council on Aging expense 54, 87, 88, Council on Aging part-time wages 12,396, 96, Council on Aging part-time wages director 98, 54, 44. What is art?
Article.
Article 20? Oh, that's the special fund for the bus repairs. Now has a balance of $871.50 after we redid the brakes and massaged the bus in other ways that we hope will keep it rolling for a while yet. And then elder affairs, $8,077.93. I asked about how come we're still paying director
Yeah.
wages when we have no director, and apparently that's
Contract?
the amount, no, she doesn't get it, but the
Balance.
balance stays with us. So the 98.54 is still in our, is that correct, Peggy? The 98.54 for the director wages is still in our account and can't be spent on other stuff?
Can't?
You can't, no. But when we get a new director, then her salary, or his salary will be paid through there.
But presumably at the end of the fiscal year, there'd still be funds left there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Except.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
So voted.
Who made the motion? Karen?
Review the summary of COA activity since the last meeting. Do you all have that? Monthly report, February 2020, that Peggy put together. Anybody have questions? Express expressions of astonishment, wonder, what, no?
Bummer on the brakes, but
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing we found it while the thing was sitting in the parking lot, not when it was rolling down the highway.
Are we going to take action on this emergency preparedness package distribution?
Well, all of the goodies that were available to put into the emergency preparedness package, we've had it advertised in the Powder House News now for 2 or 3 editions. Nobody's gone around knocking on doors. I had a list of 6 people, and 2 of them said didn't really need it. And the third said that they'd take it, even though they didn't need it. So that left quite a bit of stuff still there. Peggy had recommended that we take the foodstuffs out, if it's usable, maybe put it with the food pantry. And then take the other hard goods like scarves and whatever.
We could send them to the veterans, the clothing types.
We can. Is this a kind of project we want to do again in another year, even though it was a rousing unsuccess this year, more or less?
Well, is it just food that we have? Somebody mentioned scarves and mittens and that
Yeah,
kind of
that's,
stuff.
yeah, the durable goods, I guess they call those, yeah.
Couldn't we donate them to the school and have the children use them? Because I imagine they are for children.
Some are
the
adult.
size
You've
is
seen them, huh?
probably.
They're big. I think
Oh,
Yeah.
they're big?
Well, they're adult size, right? Most of them?
Oh, okay, then that makes
I
sense.
didn't mean to imply that that the thing was an unsuccess because of what it was intended to do, only referring to the fact that for some reason, nobody expressed a need for them at this point. So I think if we can make use of what is in those kits for other
Right.
people who can use them,
Yeah.
maybe in parts of the kit, here, parts of the
Yeah,
kit
but we
there.
don't have, the older people, I mean, the seniors, we could, the only other thing to do is distribute them, and we don't have a center that we could put them for those that need them.
Well, there's also the Many Hands clothing store.
Many hands, and also the Catholic have a bend in the back, but I don't know if they'll, everything usually that we put down there goes out.
Yeah, it doesn't stay in the
In
town.
addition to those tubs that were prepared for the there are little tubs all over the floor, which were given to us. They weren't incorporated into the emergency things. Now these things, I talked to the lady who had donated or coordinated getting those things, and she suggested that if we can't get any Berlin seniors, we give them to the veterans homes in Worcester. And she, I guess, visits them normally, on a regular basis. So if we could get this stuff.
She's haunting me.
If we could split it up and at least the gloves and that.
Is that
I
Emily?
want them at this time of the year.
Emily Donahue that you're referring to, who put them together? Is it Emily Donahue?
So she put together
Right.
the big tubs of.
Right. So who's the person that visits the veterans on a regular basis?
Mary McKellar.
Okay.
She's the one who put all those things down there. So I'm just suggesting that,
So who are we needing to contact?
Mary McKell?
Mary McCall?
yes.
Oh, I didn't, was she the one who put those kits together?
Emily Donahue.
Emily Donahue did.
She put those little tubs of things down there. Not alone, she collected the stuff with a group or something. And then, Emily is the one who did the big Tupperware for kids, boxes.
The boxes were the nicest part of those. They're pretty sturdy, handy things. And
Well, I think probably when they when Mary and her group put that in there, it was intended to be used for the emergency preparedness.
right,
But
apparently people seem to feel they're prepared, at least this year. All right, so we need to contact Mary and Emily and get their opinions. Emergency kits, okay. I can give them a buzz. Number 5 is reminder about Council on Aging Board training at Clinton Senior Center. I've got 3 people who indicated they can and would like to go. It's on March 5th. Starts at 8:45 in the morning. It's also Super Tuesday, I think, here. But the program there starts at 8:45 registration, 9 o'clock program. Some coffee and pastry kind of stuff at the outset. Stop at noon for lunch break and then go back in session, and they're not sure that it will actually go long in the afternoon, might even be done by noon, but this is this fellow from Elder Affairs, State Elder Affairs, who is apparently a real savvy person about all things senior and COA wise. He's going to give us some tips, which sounds totally useful. So far Kate's going, I'm going, and so is Louise Janda from Berlin Seniors. Because we're talking with Berlin Seniors and COA about complementing each other's efforts, and it makes sense to have somebody from them. Oh, and Clinton COA director says, well, that's fine, whoever wants to come. Doesn't specifically have to be somebody on the COA, but if both groups are tuned in to what the advice is about how they should work together, or how most groups do, then I think that's helpful
Yeah.
in making progress.
Bob,
Good
did
idea.
you actually put my name in for it, or do I also have to register separately?
No, I said, do you need names? You said, no, I just need a head count.
All right, great.
So
Just
you have
wanted to
only one head and I
confirm.
have a head.
Yeah,
And Louise has a head, so I
just-
gave her a count of
just
3.
didn't want to show up Tuesday morning and say, oh, you were supposed to
Exactly.
register yourself.
And Karen, did you say you were,
I said it was, yeah, and I still am, I'm sorry, I can get,
Well-
when do you need to know?
Today.
Oh, it was today? Okay, yeah.
Today, right? The
they
deadline?
said the 25th, they said was the time they needed the registrations. They had room for 20, they had 4 when we were over there, Fran and Ron Plutnik and I were over there a week ago. And they said they had 4 signed up then. The only thing they wanted to do was not have more than 20, because that's what the room holds.
Okay.
So it sounds like there's still wiggle room. I mean, if you wanted
Okay.
to add on, I don't
Okay.
think they'd
I will
point us
email
out the
you as
door
soon
because
as
we
I-
showed up with an extra person.
It's March 3rd.
Item 6 is report on the joint meeting of the COA and Berlin Seniors on Wednesday, February, wait for it, 19th. So we met in the town offices and just had a discussion of what we are hoping to do together, possibly. And there's a good deal of enthusiasm about things we might undertake. I think the one thing that we didn't iron out was, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, was the thing about fundraising and who does that and how it occurs, who actually takes on that role. In most groups like this, I guess the Friends of the Council on Aging do fundraising. In this case, it would mean that the Berlin Seniors would end up doing fundraising, which not all of them are wild about. Oddly, it seems the similar group in Clinton, according to the COA director, is the same way. They have a fund of some chunk of money that somebody gave them, and they're not keen on spending it. Isn't that your sense of it?
Yep.
So there's some little disconnect there, and I gather that Clinton gets by a lot on grants and allocations to the town. In the case of Clinton, the town, I think, funds them to the tune of over $300,000, but they have 6 or 7 full-time employees, and they have a whole big senior center, and they have beaucoup programs, so the money goes, and then in addition to that, they have grants and so forth. So I think we're still at a point where we need to expand our offerings. If you look at any of the groups around us, COA groups and senior centers, they have,
I wonder if we
Long list.
really do.
pardon?
I wonder if we really do need to expand on our limited budget. How are we gonna do that?
Well, I don't think we could on our limited budget, but I'm thinking, you know, if we decided that there were, well, we're still putting together this thing about what's offered now, and I'm just about done with that, and what we might want to fill in.
Okay.
I'm thinking certainly in the case of, and anybody jump in and say what you think. I think we definitely need to expand the bus offerings. Runs 3 days a week. It's pretty much medical appointments and shopping. And I guess somebody goes to the Y, I believe in Marlboro. Sally Bergen, I think, goes to the Y in,
Is that, I thought it was Westboro.
oh, Westboro, okay.
It's the boroughs.
Huh? Yeah. Are they supposed to donate a certain amount of money on these trips?
Some places charge for the trips, but it's a pittance. And they have a different charge if you go out of the town, 2 towns out or 3 towns out.
Exactly.
They add on a little bit, but I mean, wow.
That's what they
What
do in
add
Paxton.
wouldn't even pay for the gas.
Because that's, I mean, you know, but some of these people have next
That's
door
another
neighbors.
issue if you decide to charge, it's like, you gotta have a box to put the money in, and it's just very, you have to,
You mean the bus would have to do that too?
the bus driver wouldn't be able to just take cash.
Okay.
Just like that.
So,
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works, but if they pay when they reserve, and many of them say it must be 72 hours in advance or 48 hours in advance. Let them know as much in advance as possible if you have to cancel, or if your doctor or whoever asks you to change the date.
I don't know how you, because we're a small town compared to some places, and like I said, I know Paxton, they pay the people that use this vehicle.
We used to have somebody who paid $20 a month,
Yeah,
but she doesn't do it any longer, and I think it must be, when she did it, it was because she knew that she was normally being driven in a private vehicle. So maybe to, you know, take the place of some of the money we paid to mileage in it, you know?
I think one of the aims, when we're talking about fundraising, one of the aims of this
That's all I got.
what do we offer now
Thank you for your help.
survey was to find out not just what the COA offers, but what is offered in town. So that you'd include what's offered at 19 Carter, First Church, here, either of the churches for that matter. What other places? Anyway, so what's offered, and also what you can go to in neighboring towns that have robust programs and much bigger facilities and welcome outsiders. They probably charge some fee, but it certainly isn't prohibitive. So I think all that has to be factored in. But I think, you know, I can envision the bus really doing more, like taking people on trips. Apparently that's been done in the past, has it not? They've gone to
For ice cream once,
ice cream once.
Bolton.
yeah, we'll find it,
Big
yeah.
deal.
So it's that kind of thing, or, not to beat a dead horse, but I worked at Mechanics Hall, and people, homes, group homes and organizations from all over the area would send in buses, some bigger than others, and they'd come in and they'd have a table reserved for them, and they'd see a free
Exactly,
concert
yeah.
on 3 or 4 times a year, these 4 concert series. So that's just an example, but I mean, Tower Hill, you get Fruitlands, blah, 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 there's all kinds of places you could go. That would require more drivers, might mean you'd need a second van. George Pendergast has suggested that if we, in fact, get a new van, we should hang on to the old one if it's not decrepit, and use it as a backup in case of a breakdown of the primary,
Yeah.
or use it as a supplement. If you have 15 people who want to go someplace and the van holds 10, then you got 2 vans to take them.
That would require selectmen's permission.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of things to iron out on it, and the I don't know, you know, we've mentioned that Margaret has discussed with the WRTA in Worcester what's going on. I don't see them answering. I mean, she's asking, I see her notes that she's called them about what are our options, what does the van look like? I don't see responses, and so she must be getting very frustrated. I certainly am. I don't know why I don't know if they're ignoring us or they're just super focused on some other thing, but maybe we all want to drive down there and just
I think
camp on their doorstep.
I think what probably happened was, the suggestion is that we, the town, appropriate funds to supplement the money given to us by the state, or given to them by the state. And this is sort of like threw something at them that they've never encountered before. So he's probably investigating, can we do this, can we do, one of those
Yeah.
jobs.
There's actually quite a lot you could investigate about transportation, and I hope I'm not taking this out of sequence here. Maybe so we're talking about the joint meeting between the seniors and the Council on Aging. Many of you were there. Do you recall anything that I left out about what we were discussing?
Same old, same old.
Okay, so on status of COA director hire update, that's next item down, and we'll get back to the bus. COA director hire update. We did some tweaks on the description, turned it in. I went to the selectmen's meeting, presented it. They all went, and then presumably they either tweaked or passed it along. I guess it went to the personnel committee. So I don't know where it is.
I don't know where it is. Okay.
So it has to come back, and then I guess it's advertised. But if you notice our fine new publication, it says right on there that it's advertised or being advertised. I think I passed the publication out. And it also says that we're advertising for a new driver. So I don't know what's happening there either. And that's actually the next item.
Well, that is advertised.
Okay, that is advertised by the town. I'm not sure the director's position has been posted
No,
yet.
it hasn't.
So that
I
has
spoke to
to,
Margaret about it yesterday.
yeah, that has to get
So there
going.
is no posting? Like what this says is a posting?
For the director, but there is for the driver, not
It's
for
on
the
inside
director
somewhere,
yet.
right there.
Oh,
The separate ones. And I lost my copy.
Might be on the back.
How come you know where everything is on that publication?
Yeah, it's not in the middle.
yeah, I see it. I found it. Thank you.
So hopefully, this process will yield a job description and an ad for the position. I hope we don't have to,
Who's checking this email? The
Wait
COA
too long.
director? It says to reply to this email, COA director at Town of Berlin. Someone's checking that email?
Peggy's
Oh,
checking it.
Oh, you, okay, all right, I was just clarifying it. Yeah, I didn't know who was checking it, okay.
and I already mentioned the COA questionnaire regarding available senior services. I'm just at the point now where I'm taking what everybody responded in terms of what they offer, and then typing it into a little short blurb, which is somewhere in this vast heap. Well, that's an example. Oh, that's the one for Council on Aging, if everybody wants to see what that looks like. Many of them are a lot shorter than that. And the idea is that they, in this booklet, which I still haven't conceived in its entirety, you would go in and find reference to, if you needed some nutrition assistance, okay?
Yeah.
These sites, 1, 6, and 9 deal with nutrition. This site deals with transportation, blah, blah. And within something like the Council on Aging, there could be several different concerns that are addressed in programs that we offer.
And is this the type of material that will go into the brochure?
The summary of, well, actually, this is Council on Aging, so I wrote that one up. The others, which probably are in here, are shorter and about, or is that
But
the
this
same
is,
one?
this is what would go into the brochure, yes?
Yeah,
Okay, so you need to add times and places. Or at least a contact.
of,
Well, for instance, the
Like
Tai Chi and yoga. I mean, they can just show up, but they have to know when and where.
Okay, except that the concept here is you've got the phone number of the Council on Aging and the address, and they can contact them, because I assume that the times and places may change year to year, and this isn't intended to be a 2020 only
Okay.
brochure. Some of them are, like, if I mention First Church, actually I have to find out when their service is. It just says service and what the time is, but then they have other things that they're doing.
What if we actually put the times and then put like a little disclaimer at the bottom saying, subject to change, you know? I'm just thinking maybe the office would get flooded with the same questions over and over again, like, where's Tai Chi, where's Tai Chi, what time is Tai Chi?
Okay, that's worth noting.
Did you look at the one that I did last summer that's
Where is it usually?
downstairs in the,
I can't find any address, Lori. I went to look for them today.
or is it,
And then
no,
I'll
it's where we used
It was
to
over
be.
there.
In that room,
Yeah,
that's in that room, the same room that, where we met. Oh, you
A
didn't come.
listing of all the activities in town that are,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, no, that's not where we met.
Well, the
I went
ones
down
that
there 'cause
we-
I thought that's where we were meeting.
Yeah, but we used to.
Last
oh, the COA office.
yeah, I'll send you
Okay.
that.
I
Can
mean,
I
I
add to
think
it or
Fran's
whatever?
point.
Are you gonna do a
Right.
brochure with it, or
Yeah,
are
I
we
mean, I
gonna
don't
do
think
it?
it's.
Yeah, I'm hoping you do a booklet
Okay.
and have a bright orange cover on it, so when they throw it on their desk, they can,
Can't miss it.
Not being
Right there.
here, I don't know.
so that's slowly coming together.
I know.
Dad,
I still have a couple of people I'm chasing
I
for their
remember that.
information.
To be quiet.
I think you should try it out.
But not
and
many.
report back to us.
They told me not to call because it would be going.
Really?
Okay, CO van acquisition day update, we don't know that.
It's usually the same.
New business warrants for signature, we already dealt with those.
Any expenses in that that were processed over the last month are in that folder right there. You don't need to sign or anything, it's just for your information.
You wanna look at them?
Senior.
I think they're
Okay.
about 11.
It also includes the
This
donations.
is usually in recognition to the people that volunteer.
So that's not written correctly, is what you're saying.
Facing, well,
It needs to
that's,
be specific, it's not for just all the seniors in town.
no.
No, so then what? needs to-
Well, one of these is,
Well, which one?
I think the Christmas one,
So we have to separate them out.
yeah. The free senior luncheons in the summer and Christmas. The senior luncheon that we have in the summer,
Uh-huh.
if we're talking about the one that we do at Barbara's Crossing, that's in recognitions of the volunteers.
I was talking about the one that Holly did over at Northbrook
Technical.
2 in their, whatever.
There's two different things.
Oh, two different things, okay.
That's fine.
Okay,
That's,
I was, all right. She's explaining it to me.
I'm sorry, she's been in Florida too long.
I know,
Too much sun.
I was gonna say that.
Never happened, it's as crummy down there as it is here.
Okay, does anybody have, well, you can pass that around at any time. Does anybody have new business or additional business that you would like to bring up?
I wanted to tell you, I was talking to Holly yesterday, well, I was texting her, actually, to ask her about the Powder House News and, you know, how come, the addresses aren't printed on it? And she, oh, they don't do that, right? And I said, well, do they have to be folded? And she, yeah, you have to do that, and they don't do that. And she said, instead of mailing them out, all you have to do is just put piles of it all over town. And I don't think the council would like.
People
I'm
don't.
trying to get them in the hands of all the seniors.
Well, the thing is,
I
I
just
think,
thought I'd mention it to you.
I think one thing you could do is ask somebody who lives at the two villages down the street to give them some, and they could give them to their neighbors, because sooner or later, they all go to the main house,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, they have to go there for the mail.
That's right. I
Oh,
mean,
they have a mail.
may
They
not
have to go, some of them
I
go,
would check
that's
with the
right.
post office, you may not have to fold them.
I did. She said yes.
Post office said you did?
And I wanted to go over with the ones from Clinton and Northborough, so but they're not folded, and they have the address thing on it, and they're not taped. So how come we have to?
Because I was thinking, because I get things at home that, you know, about that size, and they're not.
You get magazines.
So I called to find out, she said, oh, yeah, he said, yes, you have
I
to
think
fold them.
that was all Lucy
Have
did.
stickers on.
I want to talk to them tomorrow morning.
Yes,
really
yeah,
annoying.
yeah.
That's a whole
Like I
big
said,
pile
he
of
and I
stuff.
don't argue though. He wants to argue, we can go argue.
No,
Yeah.
Eloise has a little machine that folds things. Does it fold anything that thick?
Well, she's so busy, I didn't want to bother her. I felt bad, I was gonna print out the labels.
What do we have? Ken, you said Eloise has got a machine that does the folding?
I think she
Yes,
has a
she
folding
does,
machine.
Can we volunteer to go and do it when they come in?
I think just in general, yeah.
I don't know, we'd have to ask her that.
The other thing that surprised me about it was these are done by the same printer, and they're done on glossy paper and full color, and I don't know why is that
Two
the
different grades
contract?
of paper, probably.
Oh, they certainly had two different grades of paper. Is that just Holly signed up for a lower price contract, or what
I
the
think
heck?
it's through one company, but
This
I
is
think
impressive.
they contract out.
That's the kind I
Yeah.
Oh my God, your hands are.
I think everything is printed right down there in Connecticut, LPI.
Yeah.
I'm usually cold.
Yeah, but theirs was too LPI.
No,
Yeah,
no blood.
yeah, and these were, Clinton was. But I guess what I'm asking is, how come they do that for them and they do us on,
I can ask them about the paper stuff.
Yeah.
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 I mean, the post office might,
But it's a different company.
I mean, are you ready for the next edition?
Yeah,
That's
I'll do
even
the next
more.
one, as long as people give me content.
Right, that's what
Okay,
I was saying,
if
yeah.
I find anything, I'll.
I don't think
I'm thinking if I took this over to the post office, he might say, well, if your thing look like that, you know, that's like a magazine, sure, we can just stick a label on and boom, away it goes. This would be nasty to fold anyway. So if that's the case, then we would say to the printer,
Do they mail?
Are those
them?
mail
Sounds like-
those?
Are those
no,
towns?
we pick these up,
And then to ask
pick these up at
Eloise for a
Clinton.
list of seniors who had died in the past 2 months, but I forgot, so that's not anything.
It's gotta be, yeah.
It's gotta be a
No,
budget
I've
thing.
forgotten, we always
Good
go.
old Scott's
It's gotta
more.
be an issue of budget, and that's why we have what we have.
I'm just saying, they used to be black and white, so
They
this
were
is
black
a
and
step
white.
up here with
And
color.
even this is a step up with
well,
color.
that one there the last edition never came out that way. That must have been a teaser or a sample
Oh, did
Yeah, it
No,
started,
no,
it
no, no,
started
no,
in
no,
March.
they sent us thousands of them,
in color.
yes. I have a box of them in the office, Holly didn't use them, because they didn't have stickers on them. So she contracted.
So
with
these
the
never went out to
printer in-
everybody?
In Clinton, and they sent it out. Because the printer in Clinton does the addresses and folds them,
Yeah.
and does, you know, the whole king of it.
That's why.
So-
We changed printers.
And she
we
had
did?
a contract,
When?
I
'cause
think,
she
didn't
quit
we?
on
What,
it.
did we change printers?
Yes,
Yeah.
When?
from the people in Clinton to this outfit in Connecticut,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
Liturgical Press. And apparently, they don't do what Clinton used to do, which
But I
was
thought she signed up with the
make them
people.
mailable.
Yeah, I asked them about inkjetting the addresses on there, so we don't do that. We can send it to your mailhouse if you like.
Right?
Yeah, so this is,
That's confused.
And we're into these dudes for a 3-year contract.
We used to use the one in Clinton.
I think
And
there
then we
was
switched
discussion
to
for
Over this other one, and I don't know
And when did that
why.
happen?
No, but I mean,
I
this,
don't know when sent.
we have a 3-year
So see, I
contract
think-
with
I think it's
Liturgical
the
Press.
opposite of what you had thought. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's when we switched.
But certainly a grade of paper would be, especially that one, the paper
Yeah, I'll
there.
ask them about the paper.
Huh?
I'll check on the paper.
Because we've always got, even this is an upgrade from what we started with. It was all black and white, like she said. And then you went to this one, and then, of course, this is an and I would think that just the grades of paper would be a change in the price.
Yeah.
Well,
We don't pay for it though.
The ads in these things pay for the publications. So
Well, maybe
this is
depends
not
on how
money out
many
of our
ads they get,
pocket.
I don't know.
You what?
Maybe it depends on how many people, you know, companies sign up to advertise them.
Yeah, but usually,
Or maybe it's the print quantity.
Yeah, I think got to be, because there's so
Our
much.
print quantity said 500 on it, so I had to ask for extras.
Really? Only
No,
five
did
hundred,
this
oh
go
no,
up
we
like
gotta
this
send
just-
out like 650.
So I asked for 675, and I asked if there'd be an additional charge, she said no.
Accidentally?
Well, we're just
Well, I
making
think
it,
she just
we
did
won't
them
need
so
that
far.
many hand out.
Well, let me know how many you want next time, I'll just tell me we need more.
You're right.
Okay. I think Holly used to order 800.
Okay,
So you're gonna speak with these folks?
yeah.
And discuss the
I see.
paper grade and,
I just think it's a
They don't
little.
want
because I'm guessing, well, I already said that, I'm guessing that if it looked like this, the post office is gonna say, yeah, it's like a magazine,
Trying
sure,
to
just
get
put
out
your
of
label on.
them. That should do it, right? No?
Okay, so I'll take these and a new one to the post office tomorrow and take the guy out back and rough him up. No,
Be careful,
I'll
we're
ask
on
him
film
next.
now.
I'll ask him next.
Be careful.
Right.
Ours is only in 8 pages, so I don't know if it makes a difference in the weight of it.
Well, the other thing is that they also have more ads, I think. So there's one page,
I'm sure there is.
oh no, these are program notes. I mean, no, same number. There's a little bit on the back, and probably a filler ad, but they have 2 pages of ads.
That's how we has 2 pages.
Yeah. Okay, I'll ask about the postage, you're gonna ask about the printer.
Oh, so this just.
Tell us
Lori
that-
said that she'd do it the
front-
next issue, so you
inside
guys,
front,
whenever you
inside
see
out.
anything, send it to her.
But one of the things,
Anybody wanna write a story?
one of the things we discussed is, because they did it in this, I don't know if this is
About what?
feasible or not, they did
About
the
what kind of a
calendar.
story do
Yeah,
you need?
I missed this. What's it? I just didn't have time. What's it?
No, no.
Yeah.
I'm amazed you had as much time as you did.
I don't know anything
Well,
about
you
it.
lived here longer than me, so you should probably write it.
I mean, this would be townwide, not just seniors,
I've been here 65 years. No.
Yeah, Stephen.
except most of them. Was this Clinton? Yeah, most of these are probably activities within their centers. They used to be a storefront, and now they got this
Yeah, I'll need a couple of
big
days to
Victorian mansion they work out of.
Franny, how long have you been here?
55.
But I'm not joking.
55 years. How long did you say?
Sure did.
63.
All right, anybody have additional questions, comments? I take
I
that as a
will
no.
probably be finishing up this, I don't know what I'm gonna be finishing, stickers and putting little.
You want some help with that?
Do you need some help up
Yes.
here?
That's what I'm speaking about.
Well, no, I'll come up tomorrow and give you a
That's
hand.
what, I'd probably be down in the town offices around 11 o'clock. If anybody. can
Tomorrow's
come.
Wednesday,
Yeah,
down there?
yeah.
Now,
Margaret's doing some of the folding tonight, so I'll have to sticker them and do whatever else with
I'll
them.
be happy to go down.
Okay, I'll see you then.
You got a date, honey? What's tomorrow, Wednesday?
2:18.
2:18? Ooh, okay.
Oh, 218 upstairs where it's warm.
Yeah.
That makes a difference.
Fool.
Don't blame me.
And I will, when I leave here, I'll go over to Marlboro to the Office Max and see if they have little stickers, because she's gonna do, tape.
Yeah, you want the clear ones.
Little round.
Yeah,
round
right,
clear.
exactly. They must have that. Yeah.
Well, if they do and you buy them, and you give me the receipt, I can put in to reimburse you, but I can't reimburse you for taxes. Sorry.
You have
In
the
that
tax
case-
number?
In that case, I won't take a taxi. Never mind. Okay, so, well, did they say how many? We have, because sometimes
Well, I
you
have
got
to
here,
mail out
here.
like 650.
No, no, no. Do they say how many you have to have? Is it just
oh, just
on
right
the one edge, or sometimes you see ding,
I
ding?
guess you have more questions
Right in the
for
middle.
post
Right in the
office.
middle.
Okay,
That's sufficient.
yeah.
Gosh,
Good.
things are always on both sides.
Any other business?
Yeah, I know.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I got a staple.
I hear a motion to staple.
Did we sign it? Do you need warrants?
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, does anything need to be signed?
But,
They
We
don't
need-
have
It
to
says
state
warrants
them.
for signature?
okay.
We didn't do that?
What's that again?
Warrants for signature?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
We already discussed that. They're here. They're all
Oh,
set.
okay, I'm sorry, I missed that.
What time does she use?
So I've heard a motion to adjourn. Did we hear a
I'd like
second?
to make a motion to adjourn.
I didn't read it.
Oh, sorry.
You could second that.
I'd like to second the motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted.